Well, hello. What a procession. Big round of applause for that procession there. Wow, guys. Woo! Our biggest ever event, 850 students, so that was fantastic. Well, hello and welcome to the 2025 Recognition of the Graduates event here in beautiful Reynolds Coliseum on the lovely campus of the phenomenal NC State University. How about that? On behalf of Dean Jim Fentner and the faculty and staff of the College of Engineering, I relay to all of you gathered here this evening a hearty Wolfpack Engineering welcome, and I thank you for your presence here today. Formed in 1923, this year marks the 102nd anniversary of the College of Engineering at NC State. And so we're excited that all of you are here. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. My name is Jerome Lavelle, and I am the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs here in the College of Engineering. And I must say, in looking around, that this is beyond any shadow of a doubt the most attractive group of people that we've ever have gathered for this event. And that is a true statement, I'll tell you, but next year I will tell that group that they are the most attractive. In all seriousness, I sincerely welcome all of you and congratulate all of our inductees today and those who are gathered here in the next couple of days to attend graduation ceremonies and the like. Students, you've all worked very hard to get where you are. You've achieved great things, and today's ceremony is about recognizing the power and opportunity that your engineering or computer science degree will release in your life. And it's about the responsibilities that you undertake in holding those degrees. This ceremony represents a public expression on your part to conduct yourselves personally and professionally in a manner that brings honor to you, honor to your family, honor to the university, and honor to our discipline. I thank you and I congratulate you very sincerely for making this public statement, and I invite everyone gathered here today to give these graduates, these initiates, another big round of applause for this statement on their part. Before we get to today's induction ceremonies, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from our great keynote guest speaker, Mr. Alberto Quiroga, who I know will inspire you with his messages. Alberto, could you please stand and be recognized? Thank you very much. In addition, participating in the induction ceremony today will be Dr. Sarah Heckman, Director of Undergraduate Programs in Computer Science, and Dr. David Parrish, Assistant Dean. Sarah and Dave, would you please stand and be recognized? I'm also delighted to share with you that we have faculty representatives from each one of your departments here. And what we're going to do, students, is one by one, I'm going to call their names, and I'm going to say to you, if you want to cheer for your department in an outside voice, I invite you to do so. And so from biological engineering, we have Professor and Department Head, Dr. Ling Li. We have from the Lampe Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering at NC State and UNC Chapel Hill, can't say that. Associate Teaching Professor and Associate Director of Undergraduate Studies, Dr. Naji Husseini. From Chemical Engineering, Teaching Professor and Director of Undergraduate Studies, Dr. Lisa Bullard. From Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering, Assisting Teaching Professor and Coordinator of Advising, daughter of Dr. Bullard, Dr. Meredith Martinez. From Computer Science, Teaching Professor and Director of Undergraduate Programs, Dr. Sarah Heckman. From Electrical and Computer Engineering, Professor and Associate Department Head for Undergraduate Affairs, Dr. James Tuck. From the Fitz Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, Teaching Professor, Dr. Corey Cassatt. From Materials Science and Engineering, Teaching Professor, Dr. Alexei Golyak. They're mighty, but they're loud, right? Uh-oh, here we go. From Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, Professor and Associate Department Head, Dr. Tarek Ashiki. From Nuclear Engineering, Extension Assistant Professor and Director of Outreach, Retention, and Engagement, Lisa Marshall. From Paper Science and Engineering, Teaching Professor, the Med Bird. And from Textile Engineering Professor, Dr. Philip Bradford. Could you once again recognize our fantastic faculty representatives? I'd also like to recognize our incredible staff, Mr. Gabe Weichel, Service Manager, and his team who managed in all the logistics and planning of this event, Mr. Charles Hall, who did all of, and his team who provided all the video and media coverage, and then our engineering ambassadors who served as marshals. Could we give all these great folks a big round of applause? Thank you very much. And lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank and recognize all the guests, friends, and supporters who are here today. Your presence makes this a special event. In many cases, you've been there supporting and encouraging our initiates as they have traveled their journey toward what we know is a very precious commodity and not so easy to attain, a degree in engineering and computer science. These degrees represent a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of personal determination and grit. I ask all families, guests, and other supporters of our initiates, if you are able to please stand, and I invite our faculty and our initiates to please stand as well and give them a big round of applause. So let's take a round of applause for everyone. Please stand if you can. Find your folks and see if we can give a big round of applause. Thank you for coming today. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. One final comment before we begin. Astute observers in our audience may have noted that we have some initiates wearing different, I'll say non-red colored gowns. Fear not, no, engineering and computer science is all about the love, all about the love. Fear not, this is not a Greek life prank. Those are our fantastic students in the Lampe joint program between NC State and Chapel Hill. They're here and they've traveled over to be with us today, and I want to recognize all of those in blue and thank you sincerely for coming and being part of our ceremony. As you know, your diplomas have NC State and UNC on them. We know that underneath those blue gowns, you have a red Wolfpack heart. So thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. And we did not put you in the back on purpose. That's just the way it happened. And now a few quick words. Today is all about you and about celebrating initiates and what you've accomplished, but also the attitude and posture that you will take as you engage in society moving forward from today. As you prepare to take the obligation of the Order of the Engineer or the oath of the computer scientist this afternoon, I hope you'll take a moment to reflect on all those long hours that you've put in and know that that hard work has been worth it. Your engineering or computer science degree is a platform to do amazing things, whether you're headed to grad school, entering the workforce, or doing some other awesome thing. I hope you feel well equipped to solve problems, to handle new situations, to work in teams to accomplish your goals, and to do all this with the spirit of ethics, high character, and remembering the incredible responsibility you have to improve society for all people. I mentioned earlier that this year is the 102nd anniversary of our great college. Our graduates have been doing great things for over a century, and I know that you will carry on that legacy. Well, today we have a special treat, Mr. Alberto Quiroga, who's joined us and will share a bit of his journey and some thoughts and insights. As he speaks, remember that he was in your shoes just a few short years ago. Like him, you can achieve great things and the things that you inspire to accomplish. Let me tell you just a little bit about Alberto. Alberto is an experienced leader in supply chain and operations, focused on process improvement and strategic planning. He holds a BS in aerospace engineering from NC State and an MBA from Wake Forest University. Alberto is currently the supply chain strategy lead at Signia Aerospace, where he leads global sourcing strategies, cost-saving initiatives, and develops automation tools for the next generation rescue hoist Pegasus program. Please join me in a loud and warm welcome for Mr. Quiroga. Thank you.
Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, parents, spouses, loved ones, friends, and most importantly, the graduates of the College of Engineering, class of 2025. It is an honor to stand before you today. I first want to express my deepest gratitude to Dean Fentner, someone who can rival me on hard last names to pronounce, Dr. Lavelle, Molly Andrews, Hannah Kunkel, Gabe Weichel, and many others for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to be here and be part of such a monumental part of your life. Today is a culmination of years of hard work, perseverance, late nights, multiple cookout runs, and countless challenges overcome. But as I stand here, I want to remind you of something very simple, yet often overlooked. You did it. And now, your journey is just beginning. Not too many years ago, although my nieces like to ask me if I owned pet dinosaurs, I was seated where you are now, at this very Coliseum, feeling all the same emotions you are now. Excitement, relief, and fear of the unknown. And also asking all the same questions. Where do I go from here? How do I achieve everything I've been imagining for the last few years? Or, when will this guy stop talking so I can get my steak dinner my family promised me? Now, I came to be in that seat was quite a journey. I was born a first-generation American in Maryland to a proud Mexican family. But in 2002, we had to move back to Mexico because my parents' work visas expired due to the aftermath of 9/11. During my childhood in Mexico, crime skyrocketed, and my parents were left with the need to make a difficult decision. In 2008, they gave me the opportunity to live with my brother in the US, a country I love, for an opportunity to pursue an American education. An amazing opportunity, but not without struggle and heartache. I was 11, emotions were high, and I was unsure of my path ahead. I knew no one but my brother, and time with my parents became nightly calls. This was the most challenging moment in our family's life. Well, at least the most challenging for me. My mom did potty train 3 crazy boys, so she may disagree. In all seriousness, though, it's no easy task for a parent to let go of their child, or for a child to say goodbye to their parents. Even facing missed holidays and major milestones without them, I learned, grew, and set goals for myself to not let this adversity define me. Without my family's sacrifice, I wouldn't be where I am today. I got involved where I could, pushed myself to work hard, and made the most of my opportunity I was given. This is what led me to NC State. NC State has always felt like home. I met some of my closest friends and most influential mentors thanks to this university. However, my first couple of months of college were a little trying. Although I tried to be outgoing and confident, that extroversion was a mask, a feeling I'm sure many of you in this room are familiar with. I thought engineering wasn't for me, I missed my parents more than ever, and I felt lost on who I was meant to be. That was until this university changed me, something we can all relate to. NC State became my second family. It challenged me in ways that inspired me to be better and made me believe I could accomplish anything as long as I set my mind to it and put in the work. I continue pursuing engineering and being involved. The friendships I fostered, the mentors who shaped me, and the classes that challenged me only made me grow stronger. That's how I ended up in your seat. I am eternally grateful for NC State for where I am today and the person I became. I entered the corporate world and started the journey I'm still on today. I moved all over, changed career paths, cried at the men and women's Final Four run. It was pretty good, right? Kept jamming to Wagon Wheel every day. And even though COVID made us long distance for most of our relationship, I started dating my best friend from high school and ended up marrying her. Even though she's a UNC fan, hold on, don't worry. She has other redeeming qualities, so we forgive her. Needless to say, life has been quite a journey with lots of learning along the way. Now, as you look ahead at your own journey, I want to offer a few thoughts, not as a lecture, I'm sure you're over those at this point, but as a conversation. So from someone who has walked a path similar to the one you may be starting today, here's a few lessons I learned along the way that I'd like to share with you. First, slow down and celebrate the small wins. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, especially after years of relentless studying, exams, and projects. The pressure to move fast, to get ahead, to constantly chase what's next. But take a moment, right now, to appreciate how far you've come. Whether you're going into corporate America, grad school, the entrepreneur route, into other amazing life paths, or my mother-in-law's dream of opening a tiki bar in the Caribbean, you've achieved something incredible when your whole life is ahead of you. You climbed the mountain and you're at the very peak. But there's a whole range of mountains right ahead of you. Don't let the noise of what's next drown out the beauty of what's now. Success doesn't only lie in the finish line, but in the steps we take to get there. Before you keep hiking along, take a moment and enjoy the view. As legendary artist Hannah Montana once said, it's the climb. Live in the moment, and sometimes embrace the suck. As engineers, you're naturally wired to solve problems, plan ahead, and think about the future. Know that these are all incredible strengths. Life will throw its challenges at you, and while it's easy to get caught up in what's next, the next promotion, the next job, or grand life decision, sometimes the tough moments or setbacks are where we learn and grow the most. Don't let the chase for the next thing distract you from the present. It's in those tough times and quieter moments that you'll find what truly matters. The friendships that weather the storms, the lessons you learn, and the experiences you faced. Cherish those moments, both the highs and the lows, because they're the ones that will stay with you and give you the strength when the road ahead feels uncertain. Set boundaries. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is the importance of setting boundaries, especially when it comes to your job. It's tempting to throw yourself into your work and make it all-consuming, especially when you're passionate. But remember, you are more than your job title. Your identity is not defined by the work you do alone. Create space for your personal life, your passions, and your mental well-being. A job will always be there, but your health, happiness, and relationships with the loved ones are priceless. Which brings me to my next. Focus on your inner circles. As you progress, it's easy to be pulled in a million different directions by everyone. But your true strength will come from the people who are closest to you. Invest in your inner circle. the family, the friends, and mentors who support you. You are here today thanks to your own efforts, but also in part to the people around you. They are the ones who will lift you when you fall, challenge you when you need to grow, and mourn your losses and celebrate your successes. Surround yourself with those who help you become the best version of yourself. Ignore but embrace the naysayers. You will always encounter people who tell you you can't do it, or who dismiss your dreams or your ideas. Don't let their doubts become your limitations. There will always be someone with an opinion, but remember, the most important voice you need to listen to is your own. Let their voices fill your tank of motivation. Decide your path and never let others' negativity hold you back. You have the skills, the education, and the drive to carve your own path. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Be confident in your own choices. Confidence is not about knowing all the answers or having it all figured out. Trust me, even today, I don't have it all figured out. If I did, I'd start a podcast. It's about trusting yourself to make decisions and stand by them. It's about knowing that you are capable of navigating uncertainty and adapting when things don't go as planned. Confidence comes from within, so trust your instincts and believe in your abilities, even when the journey gets challenging. It's okay to make mistakes. In fact, it's necessary. Nobody gets everything right all the time, except my wife. That's a bonus bit of advice for y'all. Always assume your partner's right. It'll make life easier. Can y'all tell my wife is my speech editor? For the rest of us, failure is a part of life. And often, it's the best teacher we'll have. The key is not to dwell on a mistake, but to learn from it. Use every setback as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to be better. Your failures don't define you, but your ability to bounce back and grow from them does. Like Coach Ted Lasso once said, "Goldfish have about a 10-second memory. Be a goldfish." Build your brand. My mother always says, "Show me your actions and the people you surround yourself with, and I'll tell you who you are." The way people perceive you has a profound impact, whether in your personal life or in your professional. Strive to be the person others respect and want to be around. Kindness and the way you're perceived will leave as much of an impression as the work you do. You'll meet people, some easy to work with, others will challenge you, but never forget that kindness matters. It's the simple things, a smile or a moment of understanding. That can make a difference. Be the one who offers a helping hand, lifts others up, loves their community, and is proud of what they do, and can be counted on in every critical moment. Stand out and make your mark that people will remember and appreciate while surrounding yourself with people who do the same. Don't settle for being an ordinary brand. Be the Chick-fil-A of the world. Ask questions and embrace disagreement. In your journey, you'll encounter differing opinions and ideas. And here's the thing. Disagreement is not to be shied away from, but to be embraced. When people disagree with you, it challenges your thinking, forcing you to reassess, refine, and strengthen your stance. Healthy disagreement fosters growth and innovation, pushing you to consider perspectives you may have not initially entertained. So don't be afraid to engage in conversations to challenge your views. Don't judge, be curious, and ask questions. It's through these moments that you'll expand your understanding and sharpen your ability to think critically. Remember, it's not about winning the argument, it's about growing through the dialogue and becoming a better, more thoughtful version of yourself. Lastly, proudly stand in the valley of opportunities. As you stand at the conclusion of this chapter today, take a moment to look ahead at the story in front of you. Every moment until now has existed with dates and deadlines and exists in clear, finite time with a visible start, middle, and end. Go through middle school, 4 years in high school, choose a college, and get your degree. Everything is spelled out for you. Now, you're entering the unknown, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a vast valley of opportunities. Endless possibilities waiting for you to seize them. It may seem daunting, but don't let the size of the valley overwhelm you. Know that with every opportunity comes a chance to learn, to grow, and to shape your path. You're not alone in this journey. As engineers, you have the power to influence change, to innovate, and to make a difference. So, as you enter this valley, remember, the future is not something that happens to you, it's what you create. One decision at a time. The beauty about things not being finite is that the possibilities are infinite. In other words, that is my long-winded way of saying, as you walk away from this day, know that you are ready. You are equipped with the knowledge, the skills, and the mindset to achieve greatness. You are ready to step into the next phase of your life, but as importantly, never stop learning. And as Coach Jimmy V once said, don't ever give up. As well, stay involved and connected to like-minded individuals, like those at NC State or UNC. A while after graduating, a friend of mine encouraged me to join a small board called the College of Engineering Young Alumni Advisory Board. This board has helped me reconnect with the university I love. The board focuses on ways to better connect young alumni, engage our community, and focus on philanthropic initiatives. I've been able to stay connected with mentors, engage with other alumni, interact with students, and as my friend Michael would put it, give back my 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. And to NC State and the surrounding community. My fellow board members and I truly value NC State, and being involved in the community brings us joy. Whether you join us or another group, staying connected to your root truly matters. So, to wrap it up, like a Chipotle burrito, congratulations, graduates. The future is waiting, and we'll all be here cheering you on. Embrace it with confidence, kindness, and a sense of purpose. Your journey is yours to write, and your story is just beginning. You'll climb mountains, face challenges, and find success. But don't forget, the journey itself, every step, every moment, is worth celebrating. You've earned it. Thank you, and go Pack.
Thank you, Alberto, for those inspiring words. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you, Alberto. Okay, inductees, parents, and supporters, it is time for you to be initiated into the Order of the Engineer if you are an engineering student, or the Pledge of the Computing Professional if you are a computer science student. And to help lead these is Dr. David Parrish and Dr. Sarah Heckman, who I introduced earlier. Dr. Parrish, the microphone is yours.
Hello, inductees. I'm Dr. David Parrish, and I am the Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs in the College of Engineering. You'll want to know me because I'll sign your graduation request. But first, I want to offer my sincere congratulations to all of you. This is a big day. And this part of the induction ceremony relates directly to those students with degrees in engineering. I'll read a brief history of the order, and then we'll ask all engineering students to stand, and together we will recite the obligation. Now, when you checked in, you received a packet. Now, okay, this is your last test. Okay. And within that packet is a ring that you ordered and a small card with the obligation on it, both of which we will use as part of the ceremony. So as I begin, please go ahead and retrieve your ring. Don't put it on yet. And retrieve the obligation card. We will use these in just a moment. But first, a bit of history. There's a test after this, by the way. The Order of the Engineer was begun in 1926 when our engineering counterparts in Canada recognized the special obligation of engineers to one another, to the profession, and to the public they served. They decided to recognize those willing to subscribe to the Code of Ethics for engineers by inviting them to join the Order of the Engineer. Based on the model of our Canadian counterparts, the Order of the Engineer was established in the United States in 1970. As you are accepted into the order, you will receive a steel ring to be worn on the little finger of your working hand. The history of the ring ceremony relates to the construction of a bridge across the St. Lawrence River in Quebec in the early 1900s. The bridge required several years to complete construction, and in August 1907, it collapsed, becoming an ugly tangle of structural steel, tragically enclosing the bodies of 75 workmen. After an investigation into the construction, it was started again in September 1916, and as the center span was being raised, it again resulted in another 13 fatalities. The bridge was built a third time, this time without incident, in 1917, and is still in use today. Needless to say, this was a traumatic project in Canada. However, it spawned a movement. Legend has it that one of the twisted iron pipes from the first bridge failure was sliced into rings and worn by engineers on that project to remind them of their solemn responsibility. After accepting the obligation, you will be presented with your steel ring. You're to wear the engineer's ring on the small finger of the working hand so that it will remind you of your obligation as an engineer every time you sign a set of plans, contract documents, or design specifications. The success of the projects that we as engineers work on and the lives of people involved in those projects may depend on your engineering work. The ring you receive is a symbol of the strength and the continuity of our profession. The engineer's ring says to all who see it, here is an engineer, a person with special technical knowledge and a publicly avowed dedication to their profession and the public it serves. You must accept this obligation seriously and with pride in yourself and your profession. So please consider the words of the obligation carefully and remember always that our special knowledge carries with it the obligation to serve humanity with complete sincerity, honesty, and integrity. We can never anticipate all the challenges we shall face as we work on our designs, but we are honor-bound to foresee all that we can and keep the public welfare uppermost in our minds. So at this point, I invite all inductees for the Order of the Engineer to stand and recite the obligation with me. It's on your card. Here we go. I am an engineer. In my profession, I take deep pride. To it, I owe solemn obligation. As an engineer, I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing, tolerance and respect, and to uphold devotion to the standards and dignity of my profession, conscious always that my skill carries with it the obligation to serve humanity by making the best use of the earth's precious wealth. As an engineer, I shall participate in none but honest enterprises. When needed, my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good. In the performance of duty and in fidelity to my profession, I shall give my utmost. Now, please get your ring. Okay? Everybody got it together? Now place it on the pinky finger of your working hand. Everybody ready? Now let's see those rings. Put your hands up. Let's see them all. There we go. Very good. That's it. Okay. Congratulations to all of you. You are now members of the Order of the Engineer. Please be seated. Please note that also in your packet is a certificate, and it's suitable for framings that you can sign and display. So again, congratulations, engineers.
Hello, initiates to the Pledge of the Computing Professional. I'm Dr. Sarah Heckman, teaching professor and director of undergraduate programs in the Department of Computer Science. As part of our ceremony, I will read a brief history of the oath, and then I'll ask that all computer science students stand, and together we'll recite the oath, which you'll find on the slip of paper inside of your folder. Now we have the option of rings or pens. The pens say honor and binary on them, so make sure you get out whichever one you chose, and we'll put them on together after we say the pledge. But first, some history and context of the pledge. In many modern professions, the act of joining the profession is accompanied by a rite of passage, symbolizing the entry of the initiate into a position of responsibility. The initiate often takes an oath, pledging to act both ethically and morally as a member of the profession. The initiate is often presented with a visible symbol of the profession as a reminder of their responsibility. In 2007, inspired by the example of the Order of the Engineer, individuals at Ohio Northern University and the University of South Florida created similar organizations for graduates of their respective computing programs. After interest in such an organization grew at other institutions, the Pledge of the Computing Professional was developed by an international team of 17 computing professionals. The organization held its first induction ceremonies in May 2011. We are very proud in the College of Engineering to hold the designation of North Carolina Node #1 of the Pledge of the Computing Professional. What that means is that our program was the first in the state to recognize and implement this important ceremony for computer science graduates. Through this public rite of passage ceremony, we foster professional pride, moral obligation, and ethical responsibility in all graduates of computing disciplines. Every line of code that we write or don't write matters. The initiates who are present here today will soon stand to take this oath. After the ceremony, there'll be no organizational meetings to attend, nor will there be any dues to be paid. However, members of this organization are expected to keep the oath to uphold and honor their chosen profession. The certificate and lapel pins, or rings, that each of our initiates receive here today will serve as visible reminders of this oath throughout your professional careers. I invite all initiates to the Pledge of the Computing Professional to stand and recite the oath with me. Y'all ready? All right. I am a computing professional. My work as a computing professional affects people's lives, both now and into the future. As a result, I bear moral and ethical responsibilities to society. As a computing professional, I pledge to practice my profession with the highest level of integrity and competence. I shall always use my skills for the public good. I shall be honest about my limitations, continuously seeking to improve my skills through lifelong learning. I shall engage only in honorable and upstanding endeavors. By my actions, I pledge to honor my chosen profession. Now, initiates, please locate your ring or pen, and when you're ready, together, we're going to place the ring either on the pinky of our dominant or working hand, or put the pen on your rose. So you ready? All right, go ahead. I know it might take a little longer with the pens. That's okay. All right, so please note that in your packets, there's a certificate suitable for framing you can sign and display. Congratulations to you all. You're now initiated into the Pledge of the Computing Professional. And have that all with you at graduation tomorrow at 11:30.
Thank you, Dr. Heckman and Dr. Parrish. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. And congratulations to our initiates. Ladies and gentlemen, parents and supporters, faculty, staff, supporting team members, I present to you the May 2025 induction class of the Order of the Engineer and the Pledge of the Computing Professional in the College of Engineering at NC State. Let's give them a big round of applause. Yes, congratulations to our new initiates. This is indeed a special day, and on behalf of the faculty, staff, and fellow students in the College of Engineering at NC State, I send to all of our inductees today, very seriously and in a very warm way, and to your families and your friends, the best from all of us. You inspire us by your commitment to all that is promoted and all that is withheld within this ceremony. I also want to again thank Alberto, Mr. Quiroga, Drs. Heckman and Parrish, all of our department representatives, our faculty and staff and everyone, all of those who are gathered here, parents, friends, and supporters. You make this a very special and memorial day. Let's have one last applause for all of those folks. Thank you all very much. In closing, a reminder and a very sincere invitation to all gathered here to please join us next door outside of Tally Hall in what's called the Stafford Lawn for our reception, to say hello, to take pictures, to have some refreshments. Families and guests, in terms of logistics, you can exit out of the north side of the building, down the stairs and out the front, and meet your initiate outside or out on the lawn. And then initiates, logistics for you, we are going to lead you out down the center aisle, and you will go out row by row, front from back, the same way that you came in. You will exit out to the right, keep moving, and then go right out these doors out by Reynolds Coliseum and meet your folks outside. We have 850 excited people to get over to that reception. So again, congratulations to you. One last bit of logistics I just saw here on my page. If you have a ring exchange issue or a sizing issue, we have some stations set up at the reception, so you can handle anything relative to ring sizes out there. So initiates, please stand. The platform party will lead you out. March out in haste as you came in behind us. Thank you all very much, and go Wolfpack. guys. Thank you, brother.